Hey guys, welcome back to another video of AFK Arena. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Ghoulish Gallery, which is the latest content that has been released in the previous update of the game. And this is my first guide about it. It's been a week now, so sorry for the time, but I took the time to compile everything and try to make it into a presentable content. So I hope you will like it. So I would start by presenting first the concept of the game. The concept of the collection itself and the content, and then we're going to be looking into the general information about it. I'll talk about the collection themselves. We're going to look at the bizarre totem, which are very, very important if you want to increase your chances of getting good results and good collections from the exploration. We'll look at the exploration itself. The rituals are also very important to optimize your results. And finally, I'll give my recommendations to do a good run, right? So this is something that is very important. But before we go into this, I want to take some time to thank the people that have provided me with a lot of information. I wouldn't be able to do that guide without them. So I'm going to name them, and I hope I'm not going to be pronouncing the names wrong. So guys, if I do, please don't mind me. So it's okay, obviously, Todili, Outcast, Ham, Talcum, and Rockus. And obviously, if you haven't met me, this is Akho. So I revealed my face last week in the live. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but I'm very happy to meet you guys. And I thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the feedback you gave me. This gave me the motivation to continue. So I hope you will like this content and let me know if you want to see more of that. So let's go and talk about the Ghoulish Gallery, and let's talk about the concept that I like a lot. I have to say the story is really nice, right? So you have the hero skill that had been stolen by a mysterious hypogene. Well, we all know it's Aziz, right? And he's now storing these skills as his private collection in a very dangerous gallery. And your role as an adventurer is to sneak into this gallery and steal the collections back from him, obviously without being detected. That's very nice. It's a ninja style expedition. So let's see how it's done. Now, the collection themselves that we are looking for are grouped into 5 categories. You have the warrior skills, the warrior collections, which are based on Zorlat and Saurus skills. You have the ranger collection based on Atalia and Tidus skills. You have the tank collection based on Otros and Daemon skills. And then you have the mage collection based on Mehira and Odin skills. And finally, the support collection based on Rowan and Tassi skills. All of these skills, obviously, all of these collections have skills that you've already familiar with. I mean, I'm not going to put them here, but you can, find them easily in the Ghoulish Gallery themselves. Let's start with some general information about the Ghoulish Gallery. It is available after Chapter 6, very early in game, and this is a very good thing, in the Dark Forest, so you can access it from the Ghoulish Gallery castle that you see here. The collection can be used in the hero as a replacement of the artifact. And guys, pay attention, because I remember I said during my live session that I was not, convinced that the collection would make a big difference, but I was completely wrong. If you see here, Chimera is currently at 25 billion of power, and if I equip the collection onto her, she will move to 30B. So that's a big increase, and it's making a big difference in the game. So obviously, depending on the type of collection that you have, I have a good example here with my Lavatune, where you have a nice collection here, and it's making a big difference from when I remove him, almost 6B from there, right? So this is very, very big and very huge. So of course we want to be hoping to get the best collection here, but let's keep that in mind. You have 7 attempts per week that you can increase depending on your perk level, right? So each perk level here will give you extra items that you can use at the end of obviously on a weekly basis. So you can have up to 10 in total. You can charge your collection before you start the run using Bizarre Totem. We're going to be talking about Bizarre Totem in details next in this video, but this is very important because it will influence the results and the skills you will get at the end of the video. And obviously, once you start the run, your heroes that you will get will be completely random, and the attribute of these heroes will be increased during the exploration. There are 10 floors in the Ghoulish Gallery, and of course, the runes that you get inside the Ghoulish Gallery are completely random, and obviously the runes that you get as well during a run will be only valid for the current run that you have in the Ghoulish Gallery. All right, so now let's talk about Bizarre Totems. So Bizarre Totems are kind of power-ups that will increase your chance of getting better runes that you will be able to etch to your collection at the end of the run. How do you get those bizarre totems? It's from the Mystic Cage, where you use the arcane staffs that you have that you can collect all across the different types of event. You can buy them in the market, etc. And then you can summon like this some bizarre totems. So there are some nice stuff. Is that every time you summon 80 or you do 80 draw, you get one custom scroll like this, which will allow you to choose which totem you want, and that's great. And of course, every time you do 200 draws, you can unlock the wish list that will allow you then to get one totem from this list that you have, which is very nice. You can also combine bizarre totem to get a totem from higher tier. So for example, here I'm going to be using my rare totems to get an elite totem. So you need 20 to get one. So it will just use your bag. So I really recommend doing this for the rare one. As for the elite, obviously it depends on what you have in your bag, but this helps you to get higher tier totems. There are class specific totems. So here we have 5 class as we had for the collections. So you have the warrior blessing that will go and improve the warrior collection, so Zorad and service skills. You have the protector's blessing for tanks, right? So here we have Orthoros and Demon. You have the patroller blessing for rangers, where you can improve Atalia and Tidus skills. You have the spellcaster blessing, which is for mage, and the guardian blessing for support heroes. And then you have some stat-specific totems that you can also equip. So you have the final descent that will increase attack, HP, and defense. You have the dark rage that will increase MP, so magical pierce and damage resist. You have the mass crowning, which will improve team statistics, attack, HP, defense, the same way as the final descent, but this time on the whole team. You have the Lament of Life, which will go for erosion buffer, and same thing for the hero and the team. And you have the Sword of Shard that will increase physical pierce and damage resist. I'll try to give you some recommendation at the end of the video about which one to go. As of today, again, these are subjects to change, but I think this is going to be something good to have. And then you have utility-specific totems that are less used today, but again, we'll be finding some value to it. Because remember, you can only put 3 totems on the to charge your collection, so that will restrict the combination that you can do, especially if you want to have a collection of higher tiers. But anyways, you have the energy reptite, which will be improving the energy recovery. You have the valiant attack for critical rating improvement. You have the piercing blade for general offensive statistics utility, and then you have the sturdy shield for general defensive. And finally, you have those leveling specific totems. The Miracle Worker, which is a guarantee of having a level 1 rune at the end of the run, but also improving the stats of your overall, let's say, runes that you get. And then you have the Farewell Gift that will give you the chance of having one level 1 rune, but not improving the stats of the other runes. So depending on how you want to do it, if you want to guarantee, for example, to have a level 2 runes, you can collection, you may have to use those 2 at the same time. Now let's talk about the exploration itself, as I like to call it, the RNG show. You start the exploration with 3 random heroes, and then you recruit more throughout the whole exploration. You have 10 invisibility points that will determine, your sneaking index, if I can call it like this. So basically, the run stops when you have 0 invisibility. So you have to keep that as a positive number. You can stop the exploration at any point during the exploration itself and go to the etching. But there is no turning back when you do that, so be careful. And you get the runes or ability when you defeat enemies. So depending on the type of enemy, depending on the floor where they are, you will get chances of having different tiers of abilities, which you can find in 6 total: common, rare, elite, legendary, mythic, and mythic plus. I have never seen a mythic plus yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know if you guys have. But this is what you can find in terms of runes. Okay, now let's talk about rituals. The rituals are special action that you can perform on the runes or ability that you have dropped during the run. I'm not going to be covering them in specific orders, but we will be starting with the swapping ritual. So the swapping ritual allows you to swap tiers between two different abilities or runes. Right? This is very straightforward. You have a legendary and a mythic. It will be swapped if you go if you use that ritual. The upgrade ritual is one of the most interesting one, in my opinion. This ritual allows you to get a rune from a higher tier. There's no chance of keeping the rune that you have put there, but this is, I'm assuming, how you get mythic plus runes. If you put a mythic rune in there and you upgrade it, you will get a mythic plus. The combination ritual is also another one that is very interesting and useful. So there you will combine 3 abilities of the same tier to get one random ability of the higher tier, keeping the type of one of the ability, basically, because there is a way to influence what you get there based on the type of ability that we have. But still, there is a random element to it. But the idea is that if you have 3 rare and you combine them, you will get 1 elite. If you have 3 elite, you will combine them, you will get 1 legendary, etc. The replicating ritual is also very good because it will give you an extra copy of the ritual of the rune that you will put there, or the ability, but at a lower tier. So if you put a legendary rune here, you will get a copy of that ability in elite, for instance. The refresh ritual is just completely changing one ability with another one from the same tier. So if you're not happy with the rune or the ability you have dropped, you can try your luck and get a new one from the refresh ritual. Just want to note that I have multiple times got the same ability from the refresh. So maybe there is a bug here that Lilith will fix in the coming release. Okay guys, so now let's talk about the recommendation and best practices that I follow and I do on my runs on the Ghoulish Gallery. So the first thing that I do is I quickly try to find my team and I focus on it. It's not something that easy. Maybe you will waste the first floor before you do that, but usually I manage to do this in the first 2 floors and I'm good with this team and I can continue now upgrading that team. Now, in that specific team, when I upgrade, I always prioritize the DPS. And I always prioritize ascending higher tiers over lower tiers. For example, if I have a mythic to ascended choice versus an elite to legendary, I will go with the higher ascended destination, basically. So this is something I also recommend. Now, when you choose your unions in the game as well, prioritize the union with the highest tier. You will be given, obviously, you have to make sure that this union will apply to you. But if it does and you have the choice between 2 unions, go with the union of a higher tier. There is an indication of the tier of the union that you can see here. And when you ascend your heroes as well, if you have the choice between 2 heroes to ascend or to upgrade, go and prioritize the DPS, as I said, over the other heroes, even if they have on the same tier, right? And when you etch your collection at the end, I will also prioritize selecting the rune of higher tiers. There are some runes that are probably not really useful, but again, if you have an erosion at mythic, which is not something that you will find very, very useful for many, but it would be better to go with that than to have, something that it will be an elite, rune attached to your collection. So let's just keep that in mind. It's just a simple rule of thumb, but usually if you manage well with the swapping and the rituals and everything, you can end up with some good collections, but always prioritize the higher tier. Now, when it comes to bizarre totem selection, this again is what I do, guys. So this is not something that you can take as the standard, but you have 3 slots, right? So in the first slot, I'm always going for a class type totem. So based on the class that I'm doing an exploration for. On the second slot, you have the option. I can go with a leveling totem, or I can go with one of the stats totems, depending. So there is one that I have kept outside here that is not really relevant for me, but I usually go with these 4. And finally, on the slot 3 would depend what your goal is, obviously, or what your totem bag is, right? You always say put the next best totem you have, or if you're really aiming for a level 2 collection, then put one of these 2 again if you have those. I'm showing obviously legendary colors, legendary totems, but this will apply with elite and rare. Obviously, if you have them, depending on what you have in your bag, but the color of the totem doesn't really matter. It's the type, and obviously it will impact the result at the end. But you know what I mean, right? So it's just to show you the types of totems more than the actual goal that you have to follow. If you watched this video till the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, guys, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe. This will really help me. And of course, I want to know what you thought about this video. Please leave me a comment and tell me what you think about it. And let me know also if you want me to create similar content in the future. What do I need to change? What do I need to improve? I'll try my best to meet your expectations, guys. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.